A strength a day, be your best every day. Hi, I'm Adimus, founder and director of Strength Optimizer. I aim to help you develop and amplify your strengths so that you can be your best selves and enable greatness in others. Have you ever wondered why you do what you do, why you like certain things, and why you're better at some things than others? And there is a reason. The reason is your strengths. Your strengths are your natural talents, which are developed through years of intentional practice. When you're using your strengths, you're performing at your best. You also feel competent, engaged, energized, and authentic. In this CliftonStrengths series, you will meet 34 individuals with different kinds of backgrounds, professions, and all walks of life. But they all share a common theme. That is, they have been actively and intentionally using their strengths to achieve success, enhance well-being, and enable greatness in others. And here are their CliftonStrengths stories. Thank you. Hi, I'm Adimus, founder and director of Strength Optimizer. Thank you for watching Strength Optimizer's The CliftonStrengths series. Today, we have Shannon Laundon joining us. Shannon is the Head of Student Services Secondary School at the Hunter Valley Grammar School at New South Wales. So how are you doing, Shannon? How are you, Shannon? Looks like we had a little bit of the internet glitch here. Yes. Sorry, yeah, you're back. Yeah, how are you, Shannon?
Hi, I'm back now. Yes. Hi, thank you for having me. I'm really well. Thank you.
No worries. Once again, thank you for taking the time to share with us one of your top 5 Clifton strengths. So, Shannon, you are the head of student services at the Hunter Valley Grammar School. Maybe you can briefly tell us what exactly that you do as a head of student services secondary school.
Sure. So, the student services faculty, specifically in secondary school or high school, we are in charge for quite a number of areas, but it's really based around inclusive education and support for our students. So, as a head of student services, I'm in charge of a number of educational assistants who go into the classroom and support our students with challenges and specific needs. We create personalised learning pathways called PLPs for, again, students who require individualised and unique support strategies. I also deal with students who are returning to school from heavy absences, perhaps due to illness or other mental health challenges. So there's a lot of one-on-one student teacher work that I do, but also liaising with colleagues and key staff to best support our students more on an individual basis than as an entire cohort.
Yeah. Well done. Sounds like there are multiple portfolios under your belt, and there's a lot of intensive one-to-one interactions, direct relationship, and rapport with the students. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of direct relationships. Lots of, I guess, the interactions that I have are often when students are not in a great place, and actually with the staff as well. They often the interactions I have, they come in and they are having a challenge themselves, or they don't know how to best support a student. So it's a lot of triage, I guess, but then trying to be proactive and forward plan and let's look at some support strategies so we can meet these students where they're at.
Yeah. Sounds like it's turning the risk, so to speak, into opportunities for the students as well. Yeah,
exactly. And we also support students who are on the upper end of the scale as well. So the high achieving extension students, I guess, gifted and talented area. That forms, I guess, a smaller part of my position, but those students are also, they have specific requirements and needs and supports as well. So we also deal with that too.
I see. So how long have you been in this role, Shannon?
I've only been in role coming up to, well, it's been 5 months now.
All right. So since 2021 then?
Yes, 2021. So prior to that, I was a classroom music teacher, secondary.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky enough to still be able to teach my Year 12 class, music class, to take them through their HSC while I still take on this role. So yeah, music up until now.
Yes, and for those who are watching, listening, I can vouch for Shannon that I had the privilege of hearing her singing once. So it's absolutely angelic and beautiful.
It was a children's song, so I don't know if that counts.
No, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, and you have been in that show for 5 months. So far, what do you learn about what you do?
Oh my gosh. I've learnt so much already. The pace has been, I thought that I was always busy as a music teacher, just organising arrangements and things, but the pace in this role is just so demanding. That, I guess that did shock me a little bit, because I'm the go-to person if anyone's having a challenge or a struggle. So at first that was, really quite challenging. I have many meetings with parents and students as families, and liaising with them and collaborating with them for best support strategies. So and I love that aspect of the job. Actually, I love the meetings. I love liaising. That's I think one of the best things about this role. But the administrative work is very heavy, and just making sure that we connect all the best support strategies to all the key parties, and making sure that that information is really transparent has been key as well. So I've got an amazing personal assistant, administrative assistant, I guess, and she's amazing. So she has developed a lot of processes for me, just to keep me on top of everything that I need to do, and creating follow-up emails. And so I think the administrative side of things has been really challenging, but I've learned so much about what students and teachers are going through. And I guess everyone's got something going on, whether you know it or not. So it's been a real eye-opener.
Yeah, absolutely. And I should say that because you're the go-to persons, a lot of the time the bucket stuck at you, or at where you are. But again, I do know you to some degree. I think that certainly, even though this is a new rules for you, but with all the different strengths that you have and who you are, I'm sure that you're making a lot of positive difference in the lives of the students, the parents, and the whole school community as well. So I'm really excited for you to be in this new roles, though it can be demanding and challenging with all the different admin kind of aspects as well.
Thank you, Demas. I think I'm doing okay.
Great. So okay, let's dive into your strength. What is one of your top 5 Clifton strengths, Shannon?
Oh gosh, well, I guess communication would be my top strength is harmony, but communication is in there as well. So which one would you like to focus on?
Let's talk about communication, since we are communicating.
Perfect.
So I know that according to CliftonStrengths, people who are exceptionally talented in the communicative strengths, they find it easier to put their thoughts into words. And in general, they are also good conversationalists and presenters. So to what extent do you agree with this definition, Shannon?
I would totally agree with that. I guess from my own experience, knowing that communication is one of my top 5 strengths, I love conversing with others. I love welcoming others into the conversation. I really enjoy presenting, and rarely do. I mean, I still find it difficult to find my words sometimes. So I don't think that communication, if it's a strength of yours, I don't think it just comes easily all the time. So I still think there's room for error there, but I really enjoy conversing with others and trying to help them to feel at ease through language.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that even we expand that a little bit more, the communication is not just necessary through words only. A lot of time it can be through creative platform, such as music.
Yes, 100%. And you know what? I'm trying to instill that in my Year 12 students at the moment. There's so much that you can express and I guess share with others and for them to experience that with you through music, just the way that you stand even before you start performing, how do you enter a room? Are you commanding? Are you confident? So yeah, I'm really trying to instill that in my music students at the moment as well. And actually some staff around here too. I think that I wish that they could see how how they're communicating and what methods they're using without really knowing it, because I think that self-reflection often leaves us as we get a bit older.
Yeah, absolutely. So with these new roles of yours, how does communication strength show up for you at your work?
Oh, all the time. I would have to say, I think firstly, if I took the CliftonStrengths assessment at the end of this year, so after 12 months in this role, I imagine that communication would be probably, if not number one, then number two. So it's currently about number four, I think, in my strengths. But I think that it would shift higher because this role is so relies on communication, and the best way to support students appropriately. So also helping others to feel seen and heard. Often there's conflict in my or surrounding my role, and I have to liaise and help everyone to, like I said, feel seen and heard, but also to get a point across in a really appropriate way. And to keep the students at the center of that. So communication is a huge deal. There's a lot of family and student collaboration and meetings that occur, and that is so heavily reliant upon communication because often because they're passionate about their child and emotions tend to run high, or they're fearful, if I send my student here, my child here, how do I know that they'll be best supported with their specific needs? So communication is a big deal, and I've really had to practice, I guess, the types of language and the types of body language I use depending on my context.
Yeah, absolutely. You're so right. I know. Obviously, a lot of us heard about this term communications, but then when it comes to the communication strengths, there's so many other elements underneath it. And for example, in your roots, talking about you work a lot with not just the students, but the parents and the teachers and the staff in community as well, which means at different point of time, you need to know how to adjust your communication style, adjust the contents to make sure that it's relevant, make sure that people can resonate with it. You're talking about a lot of liaisons, a lot of listening, understanding, and even with your top strength, which is the harmonious strengths, which is part of the how it showed up, is that to know which battles to choose to fight and to bring people together, conflict resolution. So once again, even though we are talking about one of your top strengths, which is communications, other of your 33 Clifton strengths do come into play from time to time as well, whether it's intentionally or whether it's just something that you've been doing without even realizing it as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I think you really highlighted the listening aspect as well. I think that you can't communicate well unless you are wholeheartedly listening to the person in front of you and the environment in front of you as well, and knowing, like you said, when to alter the way or the manner you're communicating because things might be going a little awry. So the listening is a big deal as well.
Absolutely. And also I believe it involves about reading the cues as well, reading the environmental cues, the number of the cues, the body language of the people who are responding. There's a lot of going on there. Yeah. So kudos to you. Well done.
Thank you. Work. I'm trying. I've had a lot to learn. But it's getting easier. The more I do it, it's getting a lot easier. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I guess that that's also part of definitions of how we develop our strength, which is through a lot of intentional practice, a lot of intentional investing in that time and effort in building that. Just like building our physical muscles as well, it does take a lot of practice, repetitions. Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah, I agree. And actually, I found that a couple of things just on that. Even smiling, I've always been a smiler, but I think that I've noticed so much more power when you smile at others, just in this role because of what people are facing. So just a little smile, as you walk past a student that you don't know or a teacher
Yeah.
that you rarely speak with, I think that can really make a big difference as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you do have a beautiful smile. So I think that is a given. They
Thank
convey a
you.
lot of positive message, friendliness, approachable. I'm here for you. And definitely one
Yeah.
of the very powerful, almost like universal language for communication.
Yeah, I do. I really believe in it. I think if more people smiled, then we would have happy students and staff. Yeah.
Well said, well said. Shannon, maybe can you give us a quick example of how has the communication strength helped you succeeded in the past?
Oh, in the past, well, I'm a musician at heart, so I've really learnt to express myself and my emotions through my music.
Yeah.
And I've also learnt to listen to how others are feeling and others are expressing through their music as well. So that's got a really special place in my heart.
Yeah.
Communication, I think. My family, my father, particularly my dad, he's I don't think he's done the CliftonStrengths, but his
Yeah.
communication would be up there for him.
All
He
right.
really enjoys telling a story,
Mm.
at times monopolizing the conversation, which I know can be a bit of a weakness of communication as well.
Yeah.
But finding the right words, and I think that I've just learnt from him how
Mhm.
how to engage with others through
Yeah.
communication and what that can do, and
Mm.
how you can build social circles and
Yeah.
get through to people just through that confidence in communicating and finding where they're at, but also it's meeting people where they're at and
Yeah.
seeing how they're traveling and then adjusting accordingly. So I've kind of grown up with heavy communication. I've always been a bit of a talker.
Mm.
But equally, I think as I'm getting older,
Uh-huh.
and I've got a 2.5-year-old now, that it's just really been at the forefront of my mind, because the way that my 2.5-year-old communicates
Mm.
in its simplest form, she's listening to everything that I do and I say,
Yeah.
and we are role modeling communication to her. So I'm even more mindful now
Yeah.
of the way that I'm interacting with her and my body language, and
Mhm.
am I actually intentionally listening, or am I
Yeah.
doing something else?
Yeah.
And as you know, I know you've got a son as well, but they are a reflection of you.
That's meaning
So
us.
yeah, they are. And so I think that that's been really highlighted in my life in the recent years, just
Mm.
how important communication is, because I want to teach my daughter how to communicate effectively and
Yeah.
with kindness and with respect as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, when you talk about communications, it can be, as you highlighted before, communication effectively or destructively.
Yeah, so powerful, right? So,
Yeah.
I just another example. I was sitting in a meeting the other day, and I walked in, and there was another staff member that was there, and this particular staff member um, refrained from standing up from his chair and shaking hands. I know you're allowed to shake hands now with COVID, where we are
Okay.
anyway.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that.
Mm.
And I don't know whether he noticed or whether he didn't. And I just thought to myself, oh my goodness, that's the first step in respectful communication, just standing up
Mm.
when a parent walks in the room
Yeah.
and greeting them with a smile and a handshake. That can just make the biggest difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I've got clarity now with my vision. I'm seeing
Yeah.
all these, communication styles around me, and kind of hoping that I can help too.
Absolutely, especially in your role right now, where again you're needing to liaise with all kinds of people, all kinds. We used to be with the stakeholders and meeting where they're at, and part of communication, as we talk about, is about engaging with people too. So that takes a lot of undivided focus, undivided attention, saying that I'm here for you, I'm listening to your concern. And you also talk about in your line of works, a lot of times you're meeting with students and parents who are not necessarily in the best place. So there's also this additional emotional elements and emotional aspects that can cloud the people's judgment, decision making, and therefore can make the communication a lot more challenging as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think at the core, so my purpose in all of this is the student. So, you know, and that's their child. And I, you know, I've got a child, so I wish that someone would go into bat for my child the way that I am for theirs. So I think at the core, that's what I'm really thinking about. So if in my mannerisms and the way that I communicate and the language I use and the facial expressions, you know, if I can help the parents to feel comfortable and secure and trust us and trust me, then they will leave feeling a lot more I guess just secure in life. And I hope that that will then rub off on their student as well. So I think there's a bigger picture here than simply helping them to feel good in the moment and heard. I think it's just one of the pillars of trust and building relationships as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And in another, what we talk about is developing this whole sense of psychological safety, in the sense that people actually can be honest, even feel vulnerable, because there is a sense of trust, there's a sense of safety that I'm not going to be judged, but everything is going to be communicated in a very respectful manner, collaborative manner, with the purpose, intention, of helping the sons or the daughter or the student in that context.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I agree with you.
Thank you for agreeing with me. With that said, I'm afraid that that's all the time that we have for today. So once again, thank you for joining us, Shannon. Also, thank you for watching. I'm Demas from Strength Optimizers. We're here to bring out the best in you by optimizing your strengths. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.